Welcome to Section 5, Video 2, adding functionality to our main menu widget and level. In this video, we are going to add functionality to our main menu's buttons and have the main menu level spawn our main menu widget automatically. So first, we are going to set up our level to spawn our main menu widget. Let's open the world settings, and if you don't have it already open, inside of the settings, world settings, it shows up. Under the game mode tab, for our game mode override, we're going to set it to our GM main menu, BP. Now let's open that game mode. You can find it easily by selecting the eyeglass, which will automatically find it within your assets, and then we can open our blueprint. So you may see we already have a main menu class variable for this blueprint, and we haven't set it yet. We're going to set it to our main menu widget blueprint. Let's compile and save. And now, since we already connected our level for map main menu to automatically override the game mode to be our blueprint game mode that we just edited, it will automatically spawn that main menu widget. So if we hit play, now it's already spawned it. Inside of our widget for the main menu, let's open up the widget, main menu WB. Let's add some code to work for our start game and quit to desktop buttons. Inside of the graph in the top right, we have pre-construct, construct, and event tick. Pre-construct occurs only within the editor, which we will not be using, and typically is not something that people use, unless you're testing something out. So we can delete that. We also can delete event tick. Event construct is the widget version of when this begin play, but only for this widget when it gets shown onto the screen. In this case, what we want to do is right-click in the graph and get owning player. You may see two versions, either one will work. Drag out of the return value, set show mouse, and let's set it to true. So that way the mouse cursor will always show when this widget gets shown on the screen. The owning player is a player controller variable or reference that widgets automatically have when they are created. Now we're going to add the start game button to work and open up our level. In the variables, select start button, and at the very bottom of our details panel, you'll see on clicked, on pressed, and on released, unhovered. These are all events that will fire when a mouse interacts with the button. So for the start button, it has its own set of these events, and the quit button also has the same events, but for itself. So for our start button, we're going to select on clicked, and it automatically creates the event within the graph. Let's drag out of the execution pin and enter open level. This will have to be an exact copy of what the name of the level is, which in this case will be map_main menu. So we have to enter that. If this is incorrect, then it just won't open the level and it will probably give you just an error within your output log telling you that this is not a valid map or level. For the options, we don't need to fill out anything else, so we can keep that minimized. And our start button is ready to go. Now let's add the quit button functionality for on clicked. And let's copy our get owning player by selecting it and pressing Ctrl W to duplicate this and place it where our mouse is within the graph. Let's drag out of this and enter an execute console command. Hold Alt and left click to break a link. We don't need the world context object, so we can delete that and probably just drag out of the onClicked and enter an execute console command. And now we don't have that, but it needs a specific player, which in this case would be our owning player because this takes in a player controller and this is our player controller. For our command, we just enter the word quit. It doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase, it will just run the execute command of quitting the game and closing the application. So now our menu is pretty much set up. Let's save, compile, and let's test it, but without having to go back into the viewport. Next to the play button is an arrow, which allows us to open it in different ways. For our new editor window, that allows us to create a new window altogether. Instead of having to play it within this, we can select new editor window, and it will allow us to drag it around and move it around and resize it to check and see if the widget works correctly, which it does. It should automatically resize like it is doing now. we can select quit to desktop and it should close this, and it does. The other options for mobile preview ES2 is for mobile games like Android, iPhone, etc. Standalone game is making a version that is supposed to run like when you build the game. This is what it should be like. And simulate just doesn't run the game mode where it runs spawning the player. So it will run the game, except it just won't spawn the player. For multiplayer options, we don't need to talk about these currently because this is not an advanced course for multiplayer. If you go into the advanced settings, this allows us to change the new editor window size that it is by default, our standalone games window size, etc., number of players, that kind of thing. So when we play it in a new window, the quit button works, we select start game, and it does not seem to open. That is because we are opening the same menu that we are already in. So let's fix that. In our assets, in the levels, we have map gameplay. In my opinion, the easiest way to just get the name is just change it like so, and then copy, or press the F2 key to start editing it and just copy the name, that kind of thing, and just go back and paste it. In our case, it is map gameplay, or whatever the name of the level is that you use, or that you are using. Compile, save, hit play, start game, and we're able to play our game. And we can hit escape, and we're still in the main menu level that we started in. In the next video, we'll be setting up our level ending actor.